just like fanboy, Shaikiche is really good with having that versatility. She has so much heroes under her belt, so she's able to kind of match fanboy in that sense, where they can have so many options for them to choose from. I do have to give a shout out to Blink though. His show was on point, picking off all those people. He was there to get those assists in, and he deserves an MVP as well in my book. So go ahead and ban out that Lucian and Uranus.
When it came to that Harley pickup, that's exactly why Cho was able to shine, is because he is the threat for a lot of those assassins that try to jump in immediately. You're going to have a show. And I think I talked about it in the beginning of the game. I feel like Azizi, for some reason, was getting very, very close to Blink with a lot of these deadly magics. And I'm like, first of all, you don't want to be hitting a tank with deadly magic because it's not going to be able to kill him. But then it's also with Cho that you're getting that close to, whose entire purpose is to be able to lock you down and hit you with the Way of the Dragon. So I feel like maybe that it's just a little bit of an understanding, and maybe a little bit more respect needs to be paid to when some of those counters come out that can deal with you there. DreamMax gonna go ahead. It looks like Boxia has been left open for them too. Still yet to be played. We do have Phoveus still available on the board, but Phoveus and Valentina available too. So I'm wondering, do we go with both of those together, or do we kind of leave them behind? Because we've got a Boxio out there who's got a pretty decent magic defense right off from the start of it too. So you might not get the best value out of a Valentina.
Yeah, plus when it comes to Boxia and his buff coming out from the stop healing itself, so that might be another thing that Infinity has to think about it. And comes to the response, could be Phoveus and Khalid, for example, because if they be open for DreamMax, for example, okay, totally different. Coming with Harris, okay, very strong gold lane, and Yuzong here on the XP lane. Now, Valentina and Phoveus could be the response now coming out from DreamMax.
Yeah, Valentina and Phoveus. What else is open? Sora? Is Sora as strong anymore? I don't know. I feel like people are choosing more things
or
before
Khalid
they're choosing
and Valentina.
the Sora. Yeah, so like what about Sora? Like, I don't know, people, is there a reason they're not like so set on him as much anymore? I don't know.
I feel like Sora has answers now for them. Yeah, I was about to say Phoveus is the obvious answer here because of the Harith on the board. I'm not sure if we're going to be looking for a Valentina just yet. You make sure that you're not going to, I want to say this, having the Phoveus on your team, make sure that you're not going to pick up the Valentina on the Infinity side, just because of that dashing ability is going to be something that Phoveus is really going to be feeding off of. You already have Harith out there, and Lunux is the great off-end there when it comes to Yuzong, because if you're going to come in with that Black Dragon form, Lunux is going to be able to use that brilliance to be able to get away. Kai is an interesting pick up here. I'm wondering if this is like a jungle. Is this going to be a roam? What are we going to? I wouldn't put it past Fanboy to be using this as a roam. We haven't seen it in a while, but it doesn't have. I feel like it's. I don't even know what the win rate of a Kai is here. I think we saw it yesterday and it didn't do great. I forgot who used it out. It's something I'll have to look up there. But we're going to be moving into the second banning phase for both of these teams.
So we're seeing now Hylos getting banned from Infinity, and Lydia coming out from DreamMax here, like the focus on the mid lane carry, and now the gold lane, the Moskman from Infinity. Will DreamMax keep focusing on mid lane here? Maybe an Ivy banning, for example, or Farsa. But maybe that could be a possibility, but they have to think about like the possibility for a Kai being or in the jungle or in the roaming here with a Fanboy. But there's a lot of options still here from DreamMax. Yeah, maybe they're still continue, maybe they're still focusing on the mid lane here with Ivy, for example, when it comes to neutralize the real world manipulation. Okay, so this is the last ban, and now we're going to see if Akai is a jungle or a roaming with the 4th choice here from Infinity.
Yes. It's starting to get harder for us to kind of figure out what they're going to end up choosing with all these global bans going on, right? So it will be interesting to see what they decide to come up with here. Kai, it should be very helpful in keeping the team at bay for the side of Infinity.
I guess for me, it kind of depends on what we're going to use. And maybe, I mean, I feel like a Kai might actually be a problem if we pick up like if we pick up like a Cho on the side. Oh wait, DreamMax, we already have the Cho that we just used the last one. Who else? Oh my god, and I'm losing my mind again. The Tsunami Slam of Kalea is one that we could use. If we grab a Kai, bring it back, Linux is going to be able to burst that down very quickly as well to kind of, if we're looking to snatch the front line. So, though that this does mean with this pickup of Hilda from Infinity side, it does mean that a Kai is the jungler for the side of Infinity. Hilda, I like the early game there, presence coming out from them, but more CC answered on the side of DreamMax. They're going to go with the Bedang pickup.
Yeah, so more choices here now, especially for a DreamMax. Bedang possibly, no, not possibly, this is coming out from Blinken's hands, and now Zeus with the last choice here with Bruno. Bruno versus
well then, okay. I mean, all right. I don't know what
to say, Rico.
I mean, okay. I think that Eldora here could be working at the right time after Shaikich, for example, using the ultimate for trying to escape from the heavy spin from ZZ. For example, you know, but there are so many situations here when it comes to the both teams' composition, you know, especially like ZZ trying to neutralize King with the heavy spin, avoiding the retribution in objectives, team fight, for example, you know, or also Blink here versus using the combo with the ultimate, but versus who? Because I had this mobility. Hilda has the high movement of the speed here. Eldora, that's okay because she doesn't have any mobility here. She doesn't have any kind of escape. So many possibilities are going to see here, my friend Private.
I have the same kind of, I'm like trying to figure out to try to rationalize the Eudora, how well it could do here. But ladies and gentlemen, I guess we are about to find out if that pick is going to even out for these teams. Game 3 of DreamMax and Infinity, both teams tied on the board.
Yeah, so everything is started up so far. The matches here is 1-1 on best of 3 and 1 on best of 5. And now here in this best of 5 is tied up one victory for each team. So welcome once again to the Land of Dawn. This is the game number 3 so far, Private.
Yeah, I'm very interested. I'm like you right now. I'm trying to figure out how Eudora really fits into this. I feel like it's going to take an immense amount of concentration and communication from the team. Ooh, speaking of which, Lionel able to find a kill onto Blink. So Eudora already getting the dividends and the payout for that pick for Lionel as he gets that first blood off of DreamMax.
Yeah, first kill here guaranteed by Eldora. It's coming out from Lionel here on DreamMax on Infinity. And oh yeah, Eldora in this early game has this this potential of damage in the mid lane. Once again, it is a 2v2. We're not seeing that because ZZ is heading around the top side with already in a level 4 guaranteed the golden crab for Rusi. And now 15 seconds left for the first turtle here. And now we're seeing ZZ is stealing the lizard in the jungle.
Yeah, for me, the problem is that there's a lot of options or a lot of targets for Eudora, and I'm wondering, Lionel, who is the priority? Who's going to be getting that stun and that ultimate coming out from Eudora to really think we have that Black Dragon coming out, trying to offend on to King, who's having to run away as that Tortoise pushes out, but Shay Kite absolutely shreds him down, even has the brilliance out there, but it's more than enough to allow Infinity to be able to pick up this turtle. On the back end, though, you do see Goo able to find the kill onto Lionel. The rest of DreamMax trying to chase down Infinity. ZZ in trouble, gets taken down by Shakitse.
Yeah, Infinity Sports here was too deep trying to get the kill, Private, so it didn't work so well for Infinity. Okay, they guaranteed the turtle, but at what cost? They lost 3 players, guaranteed 2 kills for Shy Kichi in the mid lane with Lunox. And now on the top side, oh.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and they find the kill. They're going to be looking to put the pressure onto this top tower, and nobody from Infinity actually looking to close the distance. So that's going to be a lot of free gold for the side of DreamMax. Now we're seeing 3-4 members starting to mount at the bottom. Zeus in the bush, I think, gets found out there by Fanboy. Zaman Force laid down for Zablach, who's trying to go ahead and get all the gold he can from this tower. On the backside, Lionel able to smash down Blink with the Thunder's Wrath.
Yeah, I was about to say that, okay, Private, all that Infinity can do is like to let Zeus explore some of the gold energy, but Blink once again, oh, here comes King.
Yeah, King comes in for the kill. ZZ's gonna have to use that heavy spin to create some distance from the rest of DreamMax, and they move back into their tower. You see Goo looking for an angle to get in here, just does not have anybody getting close enough. Fanboy, I think, already sensed that in the bush, so he's kind of dancing around it.
Yeah, but now the situation is that the next turtle is hiding on the pitch on the downside. Both teams are aware about that, and I believe that DreamMax has a better position so far, but now him, Fanboy, oh, he can be surprised.
Ooh, Lionel might have been caught there. Tries to come in there with the damage. Shy Kiche able to find a kill on the Fanboy. Zaman Force has been laid onto the ground. Zablach diving in, finds the kill onto Shy Kiche. Lionel next on the block as Goo able to narrow the distance between them. Coming in with that demonic force heavy spin, creating distance as King finds a kill onto Zablach. ZZ next on the roster, bringing DreamMax to an 8-3 game against Infinity.
Another disaster here for Infinity. Okay, the initiation was really interesting for them, but I think that maybe Fanboy was too early in trying to spot the players from DreamMax here, because the rest of the team was like too far away from him. But now DreamMax had the time to guarantee the kills, guarantee the turtle, guarantee more towers, and guarantee more advantage.
Yeah, 4-1-2 right now on Shy Kiche. I'm not surprised. She has been a force for DreamMax here. Zablach actually might be in a little bit of trouble. King able to close the distance there. Fanboy on the backside. Zaman Force has been laid down to pour some damage on to DreamMax to find a little bit of an escape. Goo comes in. Demonic Force underneath the tower. Looking for the damage. Zeus comes in, able to find the kill onto Zablach. They're not done. ZZ might not be long for this world as Zeus finding a kill onto him. On the backside, Lionel with the Thunder Wrath able to find a kill of his own. Lionel, though, bit off a little bit more than he could chew as Shy Kiche comes in with the damage. 6-1-2 right now for DreamMax's mid laner.
Yeah, Shy Kichi here is on fire with the 6 kills, but we have to talk about Goo and this Phoveus. It's destroying so far here this game so far, because he has this ability and this facility to get the backline here, especially when it comes to Lionel, for example, or Zablach. So it's getting very, being very interesting for DreamMax. That situation, especially coming from Goo here and this way to get in the back line. But now Infinity is trying to compensate, especially in the top side here. Oops.
Yeah, they're trying to dash onto Zeus, who does use that dash and is able to still lay on the damage. Even with the heavy spin, he's taking a huge amount of damage coming out from Infinity. King on the backside, trying to close the distance onto ZZ. Is he going to be able to find the Goo on the back end, looking to try to chase him down? DreamMax are desperate for that kill onto ZZ. In comes Goo for the kill. Demonic Force is out. The Black Dragon is out, as well as Zablach able to answer back. A 3-man Petrify coming in for Rusi, but Shaikiche is right there to dish out the kill. King, not long for this world, gets taken out as well. 14-9.
That was a massacre now coming out from Infinity in this last team fight when everything seemed to be so well for DreamMax, especially in the first time of this team fight. Getting the first kill for Vios, once again getting the back line, forcing the Infinity players using the flicker. Lionel was like about to die at any moment, but somehow Rusi with the Petrify was like moving the point here for Infinity. 4 kills for Infinity, and now the Lord is on the pit. The goal lead here, there is a no more, because DreamMax was just a little bit ahead, but now after the last team fight, everything is tied up, and now here comes Fanboy.
Ooh, yeah, he's trying to latch on to Shaikiche, who I think still had the ultimate, still had the brilliance, so wasn't exactly scared of the damage that was going to come out there. Could have used the brilliance at any moment, but this is going to set up for Infinity to be able to get a good put onto this. Lord Black Dragon is out, trying to create that distance from the backside. King coming in, looking for the retribution. Heavy spin is out. ZZ did a great job of being able to use that heavy spin to pit King against the wall. He wasn't going to be able to get the retribution on the backside. They are able to find the kill onto Zabloch and Lionel. So you lose 2, but you're able to pick up the Lord for Infinity.
They got the Lord, but they lost 3 players, or 2. I think there were 2 players in the process. But now they're heading back in the game. But now DreamMax is taking this opportunity to get down the first tower on the mid lane. Oh, once again here, Fanboy.
Yeah, Fanboy answering back there, taking a lot of damage. You have the brilliance coming out from Shaikiche, who might bit off a little bit more than she could chew, looking for an escape. Infinity decide not to continue on with the engagement. They have a lot of presence on the map. They have the Lord up at top. At the bottom, they have Fanboy, who's going to be able to try to put some pressure onto that bottom tower as well. Now you can see they're going to go ahead and try to harass King in his own jungle. He's going to be able to get that kill. Fanboy going to run into the tower. Shaikiche able to find a kill onto ZZ, able to answer back after that. Lord King on the backside gets a cut onto Rusi, who is going to use that Black Dragon to get away.
Yeah, you know, for one side, I would say that could be worse for DreamMax because Zablox wasn't in the last team fight. But now, I didn't get it what ZZ was trying to do, like getting the flank, while the Lord is still heading in the top side here. As we see now the items, we got the Has Claws and the Berserker's Fury for Bruno, while I have the Stardom Sight and the Heaven's Feather coming out from Zablox. So we know that this Harriet is going to grow a lot more here when it comes to a damage cost, a damage dealt here for Harriet. I'm sorry. So DreamMax has to take care about this. They know that situation because they have Shaikiche with 10 kills and 2 assists so far with this Lunox. The true damage is coming out from mid lane from DreamMax. It's a reality, so they have to take care about that.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting because you're just looking for Zabloch, who's going to be looking for a pretty expensive holy crystal right now to be able to dish out a lot of damage. Zeus, on the other hand, he still needs another item. There's the holy crystal for Zabloch, but Zeus is looking for he's going to be looking for another item and looking for that range in the Malefic gun as well, so that he can actually start off dishing out the damage. I feel like this next fight, if DreamMax is not careful, Infinity is really going to be able to dish out a lot of damage. That's something that they have to understand, have to respect. Just like you see King has picked up that Radiant Armor for Zabloch so that he's not going to be able to burst him down as quickly. Here, Blink taking a decent amount of damage. Goo coming in. Demonic Force is latching on to ZZ, who's going to back up from this fight. King coming in. Goes into 4 members. This is not going to be enough. Goo comes in. Diamond Force has been laid down. Black Dragon is is out as well. King might be in trouble, looking to try to crawl his way out. Blink finds a kill. Saikiche finds one onto Zablotch. Zeus putting the damage. That is 4 people down for the side of DreamMax. This might be the end.
Zeus is fanboy in the back line.
What a bait! Coming out from Saikiche. Went in there. I was like, why are you going in with such low health? Had the immediate brilliance for the team wipe on Infinity. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think Roosie's going to be able to stop this push from DreamMax.
Oh, here comes the base. It's not done yet. Here comes. Oh, here comes Infinity defending the base. Triple kill for sub block so far.
Just kidding. Apparently, Infinity invigorated there. Rusi just needed enough time to let Infinity get up, and DreamMax. This is what we've talked about. The end game, making it too loose, not of being on control and being on the same page. Some people were trying to hit Rusi. Some people were trying to hit the core. We didn't have the focus, and now Infinity takes advantage of it.
I think that the fans from DreamMax are not that happy with that situation. Okay, it's not the end for DreamMax because the Lord is heading on the top side. They still have the high ground open for Infinity here. But once again, we saw that movie, Private. We saw that happening, Xena. So DreamMax, they have to take care about that.
Oh my god. I was expecting that to be the end, but oh my gosh, they came back and almost demolished it and even got the Lord and now it's pushing back. But that's what I'm saying, like they seem to like kind of get too greedy with it or something at the end. They have they're having trouble with closing out. I don't know.
You know, we can say about closing out, but I mean, who wouldn't have been like raising their hands, playing with one hand at that point, be like, all right, boys, let's close this up. Oh my God. As they take down 4 people, it was just Saikiche alone. And the only reason she made it out is because she had the brilliance to be able to negate all of the damage that was coming out from them. A great defense. And this is what we were talking about when it comes to Infinity and still having the patience, still having the know-how, understanding at every aspect of the game what they need to do to succeed and being able to execute that. Where on the side of DreamMax, sometimes when it comes to that late game, the confidence comes out and they just need to get that discipline to be able to kind of still talk to each other, still understand like, what are we doing? Are we focusing on the core, or are we going to try to take out Rusi and then go for the core? Unfortunately, there it kind of got a little bit split up there, and it allowed the rest of Infinity to get back up. Like we said, it's not the end of the game yet, but it was an opportunity that seems squandered by the side of DreamMax.
It's not the end for you guys as well, because we still got the game going on. We have more games to come, so you have more chance at getting these diamonds. The diamond drops. The more you engage, the longer you are in the chat, the more chances you have to get these diamonds right here.
Yeah, so please guys, here you have the chance to get diamonds for free watching us. So this is your chance. The more you watch, the more you interact with us, the more you talk in the chat, the more you call your friends, you have more chances to get diamonds here, okay, to buy that skin that you are looking for so much, you know, when you go to the ranked games, when you lose, but you lose fancy, you know, so that all matters here when you get diamonds.
Yes, you gotta lose fancy. That's the only way to do it, guys, okay?
Yeah, so just a little way for us to give back to all of the viewers there. Like you said, stay active, stay chatting, stay respectful to everybody. Like I said, a lot of these teams put in a lot of work out here to get to this level of competition. And man, it's just a big back and forth. This is why I was so excited about the second day of the playoffs, because I knew both of these teams were going to be very even. They've faced each other so many times already and always go the distance. It's never like a big smashing where one of them is going to get a sweep. These guys have played against each other so often that they understand understand the picks. They understand some of the drafting that's going to happen. Right now, though, DreamMax have to kind of dust off their shoulders and kind of get back into it. You see a lot of pressure going into the mid tier 2 tower as Zeus just laying waste to that Lord. They weren't even able to finish the mid lane tower. Was Infinity because of how fast he was able to take that down. Zablach does put the last kicks onto it though, and now trying to put a little bit of damage on to these high ground towers of DreamMax.
Yeah, but now Infinity here has to take care, especially with Goo here and the knocking up coming out from Fulvius. I saw Rusin using the Petrify here versus on Chaikichi on the top side, but she was able to escape with no problem. She didn't use the ultimate, for example, to escape or anything else. So Infinity now they lost the Lauren here. Okay, they got the tower number 2 in the mid lane, but still this is a very good advantage for DreamMax. Okay, the goalie now heading for Infinity. The most of the players are not with the full build yet, so it might make some just a little bit of a change here. But now we're seeing Rusi with Immortality to buy some time on the thing. Oh, fanboy, you have to take care about that. Okay, he's aware about something in the purple buff, but now he's getting info. Oh, the wall.
Yeah, he actually gets caught there. It takes about 50% damage. That's going to allow the rest of the team coming in. Here comes the Black Dragon trying to find an opportunity, but they are not able to close the distance. Lionel even came in there for a little bit of a nibble there, but DreamMax did a great job of disengaging from that. Speaking of which, Goo conceal play comes out. Blink. Oh, they are not able to find ZZ. There goes the stun. Oh. There goes the pop-up. Is that going to be enough? Shaikiche able to find the kill as well. Brilliance is out as she gets and creates that distance. King does have the immortality, but Blotch is right there trying to score another kill. Lionel able to answer back to DreamMax. That's 2 down for the side of DreamMax and 15 seconds left on this next Lord.
I thought that could be better for DreamMax here after Shaikichi getting the first kill on ZZ, and I was thinking like, okay, now this is gonna be very good for DreamMax. But we saw King losing the immortality and then losing his life, and we saw Goo once again here getting killed. And with this superior in number situation for Infinity, it might be another Lord for Infinity Esports because we have no retribution coming up from a DreamMax. So the Lord here easily guaranteed by Infinity once again.
Yeah, they're going to be able to pick that up. It is a 17-minute Lord for DreamMax. I mean, they've still got Zeus, who's able to really dish out a lot of damage too. But if that last team fight said anything, it's that DreamMax is starting to fall a little bit behind. Infinity is starting to come up on theirs. I believe Zablach already has the glaive too, so he's going to be able to get a lot of penetration on his abilities as well. Now, with the Lord crashing down at the top lane, going to be waiting to see if DreamMax can mount a successful defense.
Yeah, but now the Lord once again heading on the top side. Now Infinity trying to synchronize all the minion waves. So here comes the pressure. Here comes the fire coming out from Infinity Esports Private.
Yeah, Lord's going to look for that charge coming into the top lane, and that's going to make mincemeat of the top high ground tower. In comes the rest of Infinity. One high ground down. Black Dragon from the side looking for the flank. Is that going to be enough? Lord looking to swing away onto the core. Zaman Force has been laid down. Rusi taking a heap of damage. Immortality has been procced. Zeus is right there with Shaikiche to take down Rusi. DreamMax looking to clear out these lanes before they chase down Infinity. Goo on the tip of the spear of DreamMax's offense here, trying to push into the mid lane.
Yeah, that was a good defense here coming out from DreamMax. They only lost, oh yeah, not so good because they lost the high ground tower in the bottom lane. And I thought it was only the top side, but they lost also the bottom side here. Okay, so super minions coming out from both sides here now for Infinity, while DreamMax has super minions only on the mid side here. So now there's a lot of time for the next Lord here. So both teams are worried about like getting this information on the map, trying to surprise, especially Fanboy here with this facing check situation with Hilda every single time. But both teams now, oh, Fanboy!
Yeah, Fanboy's is gonna be in a little bit of trouble here on the backside, gets caught up there. But I feel like DreamMax needs to figure out a better engagement plan than trying to capture Fanboy. Again, Fanboy's super tanky right now, and you're gonna be wasting a lot of abilities on Fanboy while the rest of the team's gonna come in for that huge amount of damage. And Fanboy's doing what he needs to do. He's supposed to be in front. He's supposed to be taking that damage. It's just DreamMax is kind of falling for it here. Blink wisely. I was just about to say, if Blink uses that fist crack on Fanboy, I am gonna lose my seat here, because like that's exactly what you do not want to do. And a great front line that is starting to come online for Infinity. ZZ and Fanboy, they're just doing the best that they can to kind of stay up front. Oh, King from the backside, surprise! But unfortunately, he was not able to connect on anybody just yet.
Yeah, so now here Lionel was forced to use the flank. That might be very important in this next Lord team fight, while Fanboy was spotting the rest of the teams here from DreamMax. The good now trying to cause damage in a Fanboy here. But now the situation is the Lord is open from both teams, and now DreamMax, or either they're trying to find a flank, or either they're trying to push the mini waves and Blink with the Beyblade mode here once again trying to flank. But now Infinity is aware about that situation.
Oh, yeah, but they're going to see that Shaikiche is at the base trying to clear out these minions. They're going to probably try to burst down this Lord once they realize it's a 4v5 here for this fight. At the mid lane, Rusi shows himself trying to clear out that mid lane as well. Unfortunately, DreamMax just not seeing a good way in. They need to be able to get that flank. They're trying to get around this huge front line to get into Zablatch or to get into Lionel, but it's so hard for them to be able to find these maneuvering here with this great front line being played by Infinity. Now dancing around this Lord, it seems about 25% down as well. You can start seeing the minions, and again Shaikiche has to go back to answer these minions immediately. Infinity see that, they're gonna start pressing their advantage, trying to push in to DreamMax. Another wave, Shaikiche, get to the top lane. You can see these minions going in there. The lanes, they have all three pressure of the lanes coming in, so it is going to be able to stop that. But now we have a fight coming out from Infinity and DreamMax. Down comes the Zaman Force. Fanboy taking about 50% damage, still has that immortality. DreamMax successfully have been able to push them away, but the mid tower might suffer for it as there are minions creeping at DreamMax's final high ground tower. Side lanes starting to push in as well. Black Dragon is out. Infinity see this as their moment. If they can keep DreamMax busy for just a bit longer. Lord, 10% getting down. Is that going to be enough? ZZ from Infinity able to get the retribution on that Lord. Demonic Force on the backside is able to take down ZZ's. And down Lionel, able to turn it down against the minions at the base. This is what I was worried about. Is it going to be enough to take them down as Infinity fighting for their lives? And finally, the base minions come out from DreamMax, but it is only Blink alive here to try to defend against three members of Infinity. Can they close it up? Fist Crack comes out. Immortality has been proc. Zaman Force laid on the ground and immediately aims for the base.
That was a really nice cooking here coming out from Infinity, especially with this minion waves coming out from both sides. 2-1 for Infinity. Let them cook, Xena. Let them cook.
What a turnaround that was. I was fully expecting DreamMax to have that one, but at the end they fumbled, and that fumble they were not able to recover. All the Lords went to the side of Infinity. They were not having a good time at the end there. Not at all.
Oh man, when I look at this too, I was gonna talk too about the Eudora pickup too, just was not having its great day there, but like, it's hard. I don't like focusing on what the team did wrong. I've talked with you guys before about this. I'd rather focus on what's the Infinity was able to do correctly. But yeah, they took the advantage. As soon as they were able to counter that final push, what they thought was going to be a final push by DreamMax, they kept the momentum in their favor. They made sure that all aspects of this composition were covered, making sure that King wasn't able to get that flank or that back door onto them. But then finally, they just mounted such insurmountable odds, taking down 2 high ground towers, minions consistently pushing. That meant that DreamMax was constantly on a stopwatch. They were constantly on a countdown to how long they could engage here before they had more minions starting to push at their base.
Yeah, you know what, guys? It is quite painful when you see Shykichi here with 15 kills, but it's still not being able to guarantee the victory for DreamMax, you know, because we saw that situation once again. And I don't know about you guys, but I can only think of one situation when it comes to that almost victory for DreamMax. Like, I can only think that the players, like, they're sitting down in a chair on the desk, you know, playing together, for example. And then when it comes to, like, the last mini waves and they see the base exposed and they're hitting the base and they were like, oh, okay, we won that game, you know, and they standing up, like, doing high five with the players and not getting words about, like, the minion waves. And surprisingly, Infinity coming up from, coming back and getting triple kill from Zablox, for example. And, trying to, like, getting able to reverse that situation, you know what I mean? Because it was so close to DreamMax once again, and like, and for me, it was worse because it was like even closer than that we saw yesterday when it comes to the closing out situation from DreamMax. And this game here, that might be a very, very painful for them because they were so close to win, and now they're 2-1 for Infinity. Once again here, I saw Gu playing very well with Fubios, especially when they're coming up to knocking up the players from Infinity. But Rusi was like able to, especially using the Petrify in the right ways here to, like, neutralize the carry one. Well, we see that situation, you know, that we saw the car minion and Infinity was able to come, it was able to, like, clean the minion waves, you know, like the base was like 10% of HP. And even though DreamMax will not be able to win this game, it is so painful for the Dragon Boys. It's so painful. Like, not only Chai-Kid with the 15 kills, but with that situation. And I'm worried about, like, DreamMax mentality now because it was so close for them. They have to be strong now to the next game. But once again, Rusing playing very good. Eldora here. I mean, I'm not sure if Lina was, like, crucial for this game. Okay, she was, like, responsible for causing so much damage, especially when it comes to this burst damage coming up from Eldora, for example. But it gave time enough to the DreamMax making a radiant armor, for example, or add things to avoid most of these damages. So, for me, it was like the team spirit coming out from Infinity that was able to win this game. And now that situation here, Private, especially like Infinity cooking DreamMax players, like forcing them to heading back to the base now, you know, like clean the minion waves and not getting able to full fight back in the Lord fight.
And our MVP will be Zablox on that Harris, able to turn things back around when it mattered at the end. 845 KDA, 82.7k total damage, and 699 golds per minute.
Yeah, as they turn things around, as the tanky front line of Infinity started to come online with the Akai pickup, with the Hilda, when they weren't able to finally burst down both of those heroes enough anymore, this really was where Zabloch was able to shine, because you had that front line, they were wasting so many. Look at Zabloch comes in here, look at with all the damage here. This is hard to watch. This makes me cringe every single time I see it. If everybody, you saw everybody, 3 people ran and dispersed. That amount of health on the core, I feel like if we would have just everybody stayed together, just hold the line, screw it, everybody auto attack the base, I feel like they could have gotten that down. Instead, unfortunately, they all